Hello all. In this session, we're going to understand about the data collection. Okay, how we'll be able to collect the data. This has actually been discussed in one of the previous chapters in the second unit. Since it's been again covered in the fourth unit, we just need to go ahead with the chapter. Now, how we will be able to deal with the data? Since in our data science, we should be able to get a lot of data. We should be able to deal with a lot of data. How to handle the data, how we can collect the data, right then how we can process the data. We just are going to understand in detail in this session. Now, first of all, after you collect the data, the very first step that is going to be performed is data pre-processing, right? In data pre-processing, first of all, you are expected to have a data set, right? These data sets can be collected from various sources. Okay, the various sources can be, we just can get the data from the databases, CSV files and APIs or web scraping. And we discussed about this in one of the previous sessions. There are sources in which, online sources like Kaggle are going to provide you with extensive data sets in every format. It's going to provide you Excel sheets and it's going to provide you the databases. It just is going to provide you the CSV files also. Right after you collect the data, what just is to be the first step? And the format. Data can come with different formats. As I already told you, in one of the previous session, data can be structured or semi-structured. In the structured data is everything properly be structured. In the semi-structured, the data is not as structured as the structured one. And unstructured is purely a text format or the video or a picture format. That is what the unstructured data. And formats can be JSON, CSV and SQL database, etc., which we already discussed in the previous session. Now, how to handle, once again, if you want to have a recap, yes, in order to handle data, the very first thing that we're going to do is removing the missing values, right after which, first of all, we need to deal with the missing values, then we're going to impute, substitute the missing values by something else, and the next thing is removing the duplicates. We should be able to remove the duplicates completely. And right then, remove the duplicates just because of redundancy, it just is going to add a lot of dimension to the data set. It's going to add a huge volume to the data set. And when we are processing this data, the size of the data becomes the biggest problem. And at the same time, if there are repeated values, our model, what we are developing, may not perform as good as we expect. Okay, so, and we also should be able to handle the outliers. This is one of the important topics that we just need to cover. We already did in the previous session, but in the fourth unit, we're just going to cover in detail. Now, we should also be able to correct the errors. Now, right then, now let us recall how to remove the missing values. Let us understand here there is a database in which some records have some missing values. For example, Sarah's age is not available, and David's salary is not available, and Michael's age and salary both actually are not available. Now the thing is, as we already discussed, one approach to handle the missing values is directly you should remove the missing values. Directly you can remove the missing records. For example, for Sarah, there is no age. Now what we can do is we just directly can remove Sarah from the data set. Entire record of the Sarah can be directly removed from the data set. Okay, we just can remove Sarah, we just can remove Michael, and we can remove David. Right then, we'll only be able to get John and Emily in the data set. Then we'll only be able to have the John and Emily in the data set. How we will be able to do it? Simple, for which we just need to use DROPNA in the data frame. You know what is the data frame, right? What is the data frame? Data frame, this we already created and we exercised. And right after you create the data frame, from the data frame, if you say drop NA function is going to remove all the rows, all the records in which there are some null values. So in which right after, if you want to print the data frame, in your data frame there will only be two values. Next thing is substituting the missing values. How we will substitute the missing values? Missing values will be substituted by, first one is mean, second one is forward fill, and the third one is the backward fill. And we will be able to use any of these mechanisms to handle these missing values. Now, yeah. First of all, you want to fill with the mean. The missing values, you just wanted to replace it with the mean. It's a wonderful practice. It's a very good practice. It's a very good approach. So that the model is going to take the average values from the total available, column, the total available feature. Okay, from the feature, if you take the average value, in fact, that is what our model is performing. When you take a feature which is a column, if you actually want to take a mean, that mean the mean is going to summarize the total features mean of the entire column, right? So mean is a wonderful approach to substitute or impute the missing values. For that, what you just need to do is, we just need to say in df age column dot fill NA. In fill NA, what the fill NA is a function in which we just are going to fill the not available values, in which column again? df.age.mean. Total df.age.mean is going to replace, but you also should say in place is equal to true. When you say in place is equal to true, then that is going to give you the writing permissions of that specific column or the specific column. Next thing is salary. What is the salary? Here I just want to replace the salary with total salaries mean. So what should we say? df.salary.fill NA. In fill NA, what we are going to replace? We are going to replace not available values with the total salary.mean. Okay, then again in place should be equal to true. Result will be age column has actually been replaced, the not available ages have actually been replaced by the total mean, the total average of all the ages. Salary also has been replaced by the average of all the salaries. Okay, and the next thing is, we'll also be able to use forward fill or the backward fill. What is the forward fill? Forward fill meaning taking the previous value and substituting in a not available value. For an example, Sarah's age is not available, right? Yeah. So when I say forward fill, since the Sarah is not available, the previous John's value is used to substitute the Sarah age. And similarly, if the David's salary is not available, the David's salary will be replaced by the previous record salary, which is a Sarah's salary. So whatever the values that have actually been missing will be replaced by the previous records values of the respective column. Now forward fill, this is forward fill. Now here we just start talking about a backward fill. What is backward fill here? In the backward fill, what we are going to do? We are going to take the next value to put in the not available, the current records value. For an example, Sarah's age is not available. Sarah's age has actually been taken from the next record same column. And similarly, David's salary is not available. David's salary has been taken from the next record same column. This is how you will be able to perform backward fill. This is how we will be able to handle the missing values in a data set. Thank you.